Hey guys, Sean with Triggered Precision Machine here. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. I was out at the range today doing a little load development, and I had a gentleman come up to me as I was pulling my target, and he noticed that I shot a couple decent groups today. Nothing crazy, they were just under a half of an inch for 5 shots, which is still pretty decent for a hunting rifle, but he wanted some advice on how to shoot smaller groups with his rifle. So we walked back to the shooting bay, and I sat him down, and we had a little 5 minute discussion about some tips and tricks that he could do to tighten up his groups a little bit. So I'll kind of go over what we talked about, and hopefully it'll help out some of you guys who are trying to shrink your groups from the bench. The first thing we talked about was eliminating distractions. And what I mean by that is the conversations you hear in the background, the shooters next to you, and any other outside external influences that could distract you from 100% attention on what you're trying to do, and that's shoot small groups. So if you'll notice in the video, I'm wearing earmuffs. Underneath those earmuffs, I have earplugs. I always double up and try to knock out as much noise as I can. So not only does this help save my hearing, as I shoot a lot, but it also helps drown out some of the conversations and gunfire that you also hear on the range. And that leads us to our next topic. Shooting is a mental game. Outside of the competitive arena, you don't hear a lot of people talking about the mental aspect of shooting. The longer you shoot and the more you shoot, the more of a mental game it becomes. So for instance, you're out at the range one day, just a casual range day, and you're trying to proof a hunting rifle or shoot small groups with a target rifle, whatever it may be. Let's say you're shooting a 5 shot group. You land your 4th shot right where it needs to be, and you have one more shot to go to complete that group. I guarantee you that your heart rate's going to be ramped up and you're going to be nervous for that 5th shot. I've been in that position before, and 9 times out of 10, if I don't step back and take a breath and calm myself down, I'll throw that shot and I'll ruin the group. So that's one of the many things we can do to mitigate the effects of our cognitive input on shooting. And all that is getting inside your own head, and it's that shadow of doubt that is cast that you're not going to succeed and you're not going to shoot that final round where it needs to go. And that all ties nicely into the first thing we talked about, distractions. So by eliminating the distractions, you're giving your brain more cognitive processing power to focus on the task at hand, which is putting accurate rounds on target. Focusing that reticle in the center of that target and giving a clean trigger press to the rear, making sure there's no external movement that's going to affect the group. One interesting thing that I've noticed throughout years of training people is if you take a new shooter who doesn't yet have high standards or expectations for their performance, a lot of times these shooters will perform very, very well. And that's because they're not yet affected by the mental game. Now, as they progress through their shooting careers and they start shooting more and more, they obviously set standards and have expectations for how they should perform. And that's when they get wrapped up in the mental game and you start seeing the ups and downs in their performance. And the next thing that gentleman and I spoke about was equipment. You have to have reasonable expectations for your equipment. That isn't to say that you have to go out today and go spend $1,000 on a top-end rifle with alpha glass and start reloading your own ammunition, but if you want to see the best performance, you do have to run quality equipment. There's a reason why custom precision rifle builders are in business and they're so successful. Generally speaking, these custom rifles perform much better than the store-bought rifles you can run into your local sporting goods store and buy off the shelf. So that's not to say that those store-bought rifles don't shoot good, because occasionally you can get some phenomenal shooting rifles from the store. But generally speaking, custom hand-built rifles will outperform the store-bought rifles. And guys, ammunition is included in this as well. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, money, or effort to reload ammunition that is more accurate than what you can buy from the factory. If your gun just so happens to shoot factory ammo good, or you're limited to only shooting factory ammo, then so be it. Then that's what it is. But the fact of the matter is, you don't see any bench rest guys shooting world records using factory ammo. You get the best performance by tailoring your reload to your specific rifle. And the last thing we talked about was practice. Practice does make perfect, and perfect is what we are after. So you can't be one of those people who dust their rifle off once a year and you go out to the range and expect to shoot quarter-inch groups. It might happen if you're naturally gifted or you get lucky on that day, but it's not going to be skill, and that's not going to be the norm. I guarantee that. So getting out there and practicing helps a ton. I can't emphasize that enough. I usually shoot with my Voodoo 22. It's basically a replica of the centerfire rifles that I shoot. So it's a good training tool. It has the same trigger that I run in a lot of my rifles, and it lets me get out there and practice the fundamentals and develop those good habits that lead to success. That wraps it up for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, got something from it. Thanks for all the support. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.